Hey everybody, I think we are live. I'm not really sure. It's good to see you all here. Gonna have to obviously wait for some people to come in. But it's good to see you. I hope everybody's had a good Christmas and yeah, New Year is upon us, I guess. And we do have someone who just popped in.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Oh, good, sir. Yourself? I didn't even know you'd started.
I just started now, so that's good to see you,
Cool,
man.
cool. And you?
How was
And
your
you?
Christmas?
Oh, good. Quiet. Quiet, really. We just had dinner and sat and watched movies and that. That's it. One of them.
Oh, nice, nice.
Quiet then.
That's good. Yeah, we had some family over and stuff, so that was quite good.
Nice.
Hey, Chris is in the house. Good to see you, man.
Oh, how you doing, Chris?
But yeah, it's good to see everybody. Just want to say thank you again, PJ, for the help with the GoFundMe.
Oh, that's all
Um,
good. That's all good. That was
yeah,
Vicky did the
we should
most.
hope.
Vicky did the most of it. She just had to pass it to me so I could PayPal it to you. That's it, basically. Did most of the
Yeah,
work. On that.
we had another anonymous donation yesterday, so wherever you
Yeah,
were, thank you very, very much. Appreciate it.
absolutely.
Yeah, hopefully the mechanic can come out tomorrow and see what's up for what, and
Cool.
then
Cool.
we take it from there. But yeah, it's good to see you guys, man. So did you stream today?
No, I've taken a couple of days off. I'll stream tomorrow. Stream tomorrow. Christmas Day and today I didn't stream. I streamed on Christmas Eve, but not today.
Oh,
Not,
okay.
but no, I was taking a couple of days off. Roger streamed yesterday anyway, and I was like, go spend it with your family, man.
Yeah.
Instead, so like,
Because, I mean, I could have streamed, but I was like, family's over and everything. Let's just enjoy the time together.
exactly. And when I streamed on Christmas Eve, there was only two of us for a whole hour, and then
Yeah,
Chris and all that started coming on, later, a bit later on. But yeah, it was not a lot of us for a while, not a lot of us.
yeah. Oh, okay. Thoughts though. Is Christmas pagan?
Yes, yes.
I think that's like the biggest discussion people really have on Christmas time, though.
I mean, I know like there are people who've got good intentions within Christian churches now who have adopted the idea of Jesus just being born on the 25th, just so that you can celebrate his birth, you know. But they bring along the Santa, the tree, and everything. I mean, I pop a shot with the tree and all that, sort of thing. But
Yeah,
it certainly is. I mean, if you look at scripture, you look at Jeremiah 10, was it 1 to 5? It talks about the heathen tree. I call it the heathen. But
I've
yeah,
never
I mean,
like the
there is definitely Christians and churches that have adopted the 25th of December to celebrate Jesus' birthday. 100%. And they're genuine Christians. They just don't know about the other side of it, where it comes from. So they're genuine. They just don't know the pagan side of things. You know what I mean?
I don't
yeah.
like
I think
the lying fact with the children and stuff with Santa because at first Santa takes all the credit for the presents that you buy for them, and then
Yeah.
later he reveals that you're a liar, that you lied to the kids,
for
and they
sure.
find out by like schoolmates or something. So I just tell mine straight up, like, "Oh, Santa ain't real."
Yeah.
That way,
We teach our children. We teach our children it's gift giving day kind of thing, and then we
Yeah.
obviously just explain the importance on it from a Christian value that the Christians celebrate it's Jesus' birth, and then obviously the secular world is Satan. Well, we call him
Yeah.
Satan because I mean, Santa Claus is actually based on Satan. But
Well,
we
definitely. I
don't
mean, see
we
an
don't
anagram.
shun anybody. But yeah, we don't shun anybody celebrating Christmas. Though I mean, uh, if someone wants to celebrate, they can because I mean the family that still celebrates it. So we can't say, oh, we're not going to celebrate with you guys. So we just explain to the kids what it's really about. You know what I mean?
Of course. Of course.
But
Absolutely.
anyway, Lucas was saying, yeah,
Hello,
you see, man.
nice to see you too.
Yeah. So you're here to accept reality.
Uh, globe Earth or what?
You
What's
what?
that?
Earth a globe. That's
Yeah.
reality. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. That's
Do
definitely
Reality
you?
not
would
reality.
reality would
Oh,
disagree with you, Luca.
Oh. Well, one of ours is reality. Either flat
Yeah.
Earth or globe Earth. One of ours is reality.
I wonder which
The
one it is.
reality is the globe Earth, though. So,
But it's not.
oh.
Have you ever observed any curvature?
I haven't gone high enough to observe curvature.
So you haven't observed curvature.
I don't think you've even gone high enough
It doesn't
to
matter how high
observe
you go.
curvature.
It doesn't matter how high you go. You will never observe curvature, not unless you're looking through a fisheye lens.
And even 15,000 feet is not enough to observe curvature.
Well, it wouldn't
Yet
be.
you guys claim boats go over a curve at 3 miles.
Right.
Well, yeah.
But you see, no, on the x-axis, you don't see anything left to right,
but that's
which is
because
more than 3 miles. In your
every-
peripheral, left to right is more than 3 miles. Why don't we see that curve?
because it's too small. There's too
But you see
slight
it, but
to
you
see.
see it, but you see it in front of you, but you can't see it side to side, even
It's
though it's a wider space.
every 69 miles is a degree of curvature,
No,
right? Would you agree?
no.
According to your belief system.
Okay, according to us, every 69 miles is a degree of curvature. That's not really something you can detect.
Yes, you can.
If
Can't-
you can
You
move
can see
a
a horizon.
building,
You can see a horizon 180 degrees in front of you. Is that more than 69 miles across?
huh? The horizon
If
is
you
only
can,
3 miles.
no, if you can see an horizon, 180 degree field view in front of you, okay, and you pan left to right, should you see a curve because it's larger than 69 miles from left to right, correct?
The horizon is usually always 3 miles away from you. That's the
No, I'm not talking about the distance of the horizon. I'm talking about the horizon itself.
well, the horizon is
Is
always
it supposed
going
to
to
show
be
curve?
roughly
Is it
about 3 miles away from you. What are you
should it,
talking about?
no, left to right? You pan your camera left to right, Luca. Should you see
Okay.
curve?
Well, no. Why?
Because it's larger than 69 miles. So therefore, your claim that 69 miles is a degree of curvature is bunk.
What? No. What do you say? You move your camera left to right, and then you should see curvature. Why would you?
Do you live on toilet roll?
The horizon is always going to be 3 miles away from you. Roughly about that.
Okay, let me try and see if I can say this again. We stick a pole on the left side. We pan to the right across the horizon, and we stick another pole. Get it?
So you,
It's larger than 69 miles from left to right on a
So-
flat horizon. No curve.
so what? Just turn around?
Does it? Why doesn't it show curve, Luca? That's the point.
You grab a camera, you rotate yourself around. The angle in which you rotate yourself around, yes, that's going to be, well, at most 360 degrees. Because if you do a full circle, that's 360 degrees, which is greater than 69, sure, but you're still not moving when you rotate yourself, so the horizon is still going to be roughly 3 miles away from you. That's way less.
So you
than
don't see
69.
So you don't see a degree of curve then.
You see less than a degree, yeah.
No,
Which-
you don't see any.
You wouldn't pick up a less than a degree difference of curvature. Not without, equipment and stuff. Anyway,
You're telling me 360 degree world view around you, you won't see any curve.
no, because the horizon.
Great. So no observed globe then. Well done. Except reality.
from the ground. So you do have measuring tools as well, which do detect curvature or pick up the
No, there's no
effects of
measuring tools
curvature
that
anyway.
detect no. There's no measuring tools that detect curvature.
For example, like the most common example is just the boats going over the curvature. No,
We're
that's
talking about left to right.
okay. So can you visually see curvature on the ground? No, you can't
So it's
see curvature on the ground.
toilet roll earth. So it's toilet roll earth then.
What do you mean? Toilet wall.
Because you're claiming curve away from us, but not curve left to right.
A curve is everywhere. So
Exactly, and we don't observe curve everywhere.
not from the ground. You probably wouldn't be able to.
So welcome to flat earth, man.
On a globe, though, on a globe Earth, curve is everywhere. Curve is 360 degrees around you, always.
No,
Whether or not you can detect the curve
it's not
or
reality.
visually observe the curvature of the Earth from the ground, which is, well, about 3 miles away, the curve starts to drop, but for every 69 miles is a degree, and 3 miles is less than a tenth of a degree of curvature. I don't think you'd be able to pick up less than a tenth of a degree of anything. So, it's just your eyes would not be able to pick up a difference of less than 10 degrees. If I was to rotate something less than a tenth of a degree from its original point, no one could tell, except for like maybe if you use a tool or something, you'd be able to pick it up, but no one would visually be able to.
Your belief
I guess
system.
unless you stand like really like face close to the object, which we can't
Your
do. We
belief.
can't actually stand right next to the horizon to tell. The horizon is always going to be 3 miles away, so we can't get close enough to the horizon ever. So,
Your belief system seems very. How can I put it? Faith based. Very faith based that you should just accept, even though you can't observe anything about it.
well, we have other ways to quote unquote see the curve.
Okay. Have you ever observed curve?
What do you mean observe? Like through tools or just with my
Observe.
eye?
What does observation mean?
Just with the eyes or just tools?
What does observation mean?
Observation can actually mean just seeing the effects of the curve or seeing the curve itself, or
So it's something you actually have to see.
or you can quote unquote see it by using like measuring tools and stuff. Those
No,
can also help.
the question I asked, have you ever personally observed anything you're claiming?
With my eyes? No, I haven't observed curvature. No, my eyes. No.
Great. So no globe then.
Well, why can't we just say it's too big? The
Because you
globe is
said something
massive.
small.
The globe is massive, and like I said, it's less than a tenth of a degree of curvature, which we would never be able to detect with our eyes.
You never be able to detect with your eye. I hear the same rhetoric coming from Luca every single time. Every single time.
That's what I was telling him. The globe sounds like a very faith-based
Yeah,
belief system.
yeah. You
Well,
can't
I
see things with
suppose
your,
if you just took that on its own, then
can't trust your
sure,
eyes.
I guess if someone were to say would never be able to detect it with our eyes, and just that alone was the answer, then I guess that would be faith-based. Because if there's no way to detect it, then that sounds faith-based to me. But luckily, we have multitudes of other evidence to say that it is a globe, so we don't have to rely on our eyes alone.
Well, what? Okay. What evidence is not faith-based on the globe?
What evidence is not faith-based? I guess. Well, you can use theodolites. You can use other observations that tell you it's a globe.
Theodolites, I'm sure they do. They measure straight.
Hey, D-Man's announced. What's up, man?
Hey,
What's going on,
D-Man,
guys?
what would you say about? I would say theodolites measure straight. I wouldn't say they measure curvature. Would you, Luca?
I mean, I could say they measure curvature.
Really? Yeah, it's not how I see them working.
Okay. Well, you have other observations too. You don't need to observe the curve directly. You can
So I'm
observe
saying
the
with the
effects of
globe,
curve.
you can't trust your eyes. You can't trust your senses. We're given senses for a reason, so we can detect things like spinning round. That's why it makes us dizzy, because we're not meant to be spinning round. Your equilibrium goes all to pot. So, like, dude, you think even gravity, if it was a thing, could stop you feeling any type of spin or anything like that? No. Our bodies would detect that. Simple as that.
Your vestibular system.
That's the one. The vestibular system. That's the one. I just said equilibrium. That'll do.
That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
That'll do.
I mean, we see too far. I mean, I watched an
No,
observation
we
video
don't.
the other day that was 700 miles.
Yep. You can't trust your eyes, though. You can't trust your eyes, though, D-Man.
Well, I mean, you use the curvature
700
calculator.
miles.
700 miles. Yep.
You saw something that was 700 miles away.
Yeah,
Yes.
700 miles.
Yeah, that's a lie.
No, it's not.
Want to watch the video?
You can't see anything
That's a
700
lie.
miles.
Wow, he comes straight out and says that's a lie.
Unless you're on top of a hill or something, then you could.
Yeah, but Luke, you got to think about it.
700 miles.
Even 700 miles, even if I was 3,000 feet above the ground, seeing 700 miles away, there would be a 49-mile hump in the middle of the thing that you are looking at. So
Right.
There's no way you would ever see something 700 miles away, but it was seen, which means there's no curvature. Otherwise, it would be obscured by a 50-mile piece of a chunk of literally the land itself would obscure what we saw.
It sounds like Luca just said how they describe us. Oh, everything's just a lie. It's just deception. Oh, no, that's a lie. As soon as D-Man come in and says 700 miles, that's a lie. Without any evidence whatsoever, without any proof whatsoever, he hasn't even looked at the video.
That's a lie. I assumed it was from the ground.
Yeah,
But
you're
you
assuming
ever
your
see
globe is true.
stuff
You're assuming
from
your
back
globe
in
is
the day?
true. That's why you think it's a lie, because you are automatically begging the question by assuming your globe is true.
If someone said they saw something 700 miles away from the sea level, then that would be a lie.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I mean,
Even it doesn't matter any altitude. According to globe, you shouldn't see 700 miles away anyway, no matter what altitude you're on.
and I mean, we can't go 50 miles off the ground to see it. Nobody can. No plane can. That's higher than any plane could fly commercially. Meaning the ceiling that the plane would have to fly for you to even see that thing 700 miles away. The plane wouldn't be able to get to that distance to even see over that land.
At 30 to 40,000 feet. 6 miles basically off the ground, the height of Mount Everest. That's cruising altitude. The 6 miles is nothing when you're talking about like Jay Tolan, you could see 2,000 miles away. I mean,
how long's I think it's about 300 miles line of sight shot, so I guess that would be the limit, I suppose, for You know, about 300 miles is the limit, I guess. But 400, I don't know.
Okay.
I guess, yeah, that would be the limit too.
But yeah, that's what I liked about Jay Tolan's observations. He uses the infrared lenses,
Infrared filter,
so
yeah.
Well,
then you
yeah,
can see a lot further because it takes away a lot of the optical interferences
yes,
that
it
we
would
can
take
see.
away. Yeah, it would take away
So
reflection and stuff.
those observations that he gives shows it's impossible on a globe Earth.
And even if you did
So you
see
have to-
something from far
But
distance,
he was just trying to, you know, get the Guinness World Record for longest line of sight shot or something, and he did. Got that
Wait,
record.
Edgar.
Yeah, we were talking about earlier. You know, when putting, you know, the axis, the horizon axis is flat as well. It ain't just looking forward; it's side to side as well.
Hats off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something else. What's up, brother?
Here's your biggest problem, Luca. Think about this, and you can actually demonstrate it. If you're on a large body of water, and the Earth is a sphere, that means that no matter where you're at in that water, you're at the highest point of the arc. Okay,
Yeah.
what does that mean? That means that the ground would not appear to slope up from your position to the horizon; it would go down.
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
Ball busted. All done. There's no curve, bro.
No.
Right there.
No.
That proves it right there.
Yeah.
So what else do you need?
What? How does that prove it?
What do you mean? How does that prove it? If the Earth were a ball and you're at the highest point of that ball, which would be anywhere in the large body of water, that means that the ground would slope away from you in all directions. In the horizon, you'd have to look down to see it. It wouldn't appear to rise up to your eye level.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. All done now.
your vision would be obscure. Well, the water or the land itself would obscure what you were seeing.
Is that what you're saying? We'd always have to look down towards the horizon?
Yes.
Of course you would.
Of course you would.
I 100% agree.
Okay.
Well, you know what's interesting?
And if you agree, and you've been on a large body of water or seen anybody do observations on a large body of water, you see that the horizon does not do as would be expected on a globe. So there you go.
That's what's interesting.
How does the horizon not act in?
Wait. That's interesting because while I was at the coast about a week ago, no matter what height I was, the horizon was always at eye level.
Mm.
Yeah.
Good luck.
It wasn't. I never had to look. I never needed to look down once.
Yeah. As if you'd even be able to tell what is eye level.
So the globe is faith-based. Well done.
Now, you
It is.
would always have to look down towards the horizon.
No,
And
never
you
did.
do.
Not once in my life.
As you increase in altitude, Luca, you have to look down steeper and steeper
Yes,
the higher you
I
went.
agree. And you
So
do. Yep.
we don't do that, do we?
Yes, you do.
No, we don't.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't. I've never had to look down to see the fucking horizon. Ever have I had to look down? I can look straight ahead and see it.
Yeah, you can see it, but you have to look down.
No, I don't.
What are you saying? At the beach, you can look across. And
You
see
look
the
straight
horizon?
out, you see the horizon right there. At
I
the
can see it
same
too.
level, it'll be at the same level relative to your eye height. It's going to be slightly below your eye height because you're standing above it, aren't you? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your eyes to the floor, right? That's going to be the same distance that you see it away from your direct straight eyesight, no matter how high you go. Okay? It's never going to change. You're never having to look down, especially as you increase in elevation. The horizon appears to rise to eye level, not slope downward. So unless you are on severe drugs, you would have
just a lie all along.
What's a lie?
No, it's not a lie.
It rises to eye level. That's a lie.
It always rises relative to eye. It doesn't matter which elevation you sit at. The horizon will always be at your eyesight.
No.
I mean,
that's
look
wrong.
at Felix Baumgartner. How high was Felix Baumgartner again, guys? 220,000 feet?
Yep.
Was the horizon down or was it rise relative to its eye level?
High level.
It was
Straight up.
down.
Oh, and when they didn't have a fisheye lens, it was a flat horizon, correct?
Yep.
Really weird. And the ground didn't move below him, so there was no Coriolis either. That's
He
really
only-
weird.
He only
Go
landed,
away,
I think, 3 miles away from where he took off.
Which is noted because there is wind.
And it's funny when you look at the camera, when the camera angled down camera, it's like Planet New Mexico.
Oh, we've got. Are you going to let Aaron in? Aaron Armstrong?
No.
Unfortunately, no. I told him no.
Oh.
Shut up,
I
Luca.
told him.
The other weird thing too is that since every building is built plumb and level, meaning when they lay the foundations, if that's the case and every position was plumb and level, then every building would be angled away from themselves. They'd all be at different angles when you would be looking at things, even at short distances. Think about a building that's 20 or 30 stories up. Well, if it's off by a millimeter at level 1 at the first floor, go 30 levels up, and now that millimeter is way distances that you would notice immediately.
I don't know if you guys remember, there was a Portuguese documentary a few years back. I just can't find it anymore, where the guys took on top of buildings. They took radar, and they tried to align it perfectly. And guess what? They got a perfect alignment, showing no tilt of the buildings at all.
Yeah.
But I can't seem to find it anywhere. I don't know if you guys know of anybody that has it.
Yeah, it was the guy with the surveying equipment. I remember that. That was from some
no.
documentary.
Yeah, it was a Portuguese documentary.
Yeah.
But somebody in chat says he come up with like an extended flat Earth theory where it's a cube and we're only in one set. Come on, brother. How would that go with scripture? That does not make sense whatsoever.
Doesn't go with reality because you don't have the straight fall all of a sudden.
And
do you?
reality as well, yeah, absolutely.
Or a straight rise.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at downtown every day for 4 years straight, and I never noticed any of those skyscraper buildings tilting away from each other ever. They were always.
It would be a worse. You'd see more and more of the effect the taller the buildings are. Too.
Oh yeah.
I want you to think about a sea urchin, right? And the little spikes, they're further apart outside than they are closer to the sea urchin, the little spikes, right?
Yeah.
So if you were looking at the skyline of the city, these tall buildings, and you take and draw a line straight up 90 degrees from the horizon through the center of each of those buildings and go beyond the building. If the earth was curved, you'd see them start spreading apart. Extend it. Go 3 times the size, 10 times the size of the building. You should see them start splaying apart. They don't. And this is the video you were looking for too.
Formed on the buildings.
Oh yeah, this is it.
Measurements were done of the bases and tops of 2 buildings, one in Torres, Rio Grande do Sul, and another in Natal, Rio Grande do Norte, 3,050 kilometers apart from each other. According to the theory of the spherical Earth, the distance of the measurements of the bases must be different than the measurements of the top, even in a few meters. But if the measurements are equal, this would show that the Earth has no curvature. Remembering the opinion of the INCRA engineers before the experiment,
probably there will be in relation to the extension of this line, perpendicular to the baseline. I believe it will be longer.
Thinking of the Earth as a globe, the initial expectation was that the measurements were different.
But when the results arrived, the base and the top measurements were the same, showing that the 2 buildings are leveled upright. And here the opening angle, where we read the point here, the base of the building and its height. As we do this calculation here, on this plane, we will always find this distance here. On this plane, we will always find this distance here.
The identical measurements of the distance between the bases and the tops prove that between the two buildings there is no curvature, proving that the Earth has no spherical shape.
After some distance, we began to have a visual loss, which increased to a distance where our direct vision was compromised.
When we lost the view with the naked eye, we used optical equipment, in this case the telescope, and the boat was still there. Only we realized that it was an inverted image, a mirror image.
We realized that the real image was practically disappearing, and we had the formation of an inverted virtual image, an inverted mirror image, when the angle of incidence of light on the surface, in this case water, tended to zero. This occurs because of the mirroring effect, where the reflection of the image occurs.
This phenomenon we recorded for the first time in Lagos dos Patos in Rio Grande do Sul. During the research, we sensed that each state of experiments was complementing the other.
With the unfolding of the experiments, we perceived that the optical instruments amplified the visual phenomena.
In the case of the use of Newtonian telescopes, in which its optics, which is of extreme precision, amplifies thousands of times the capacity of the human eye could see things that we did not see.
This led to amplifying the visual phenomena we observed during the execution of the experiments. We deepened the studies, and we could determine that most optical phenomena, which are attributed to the refraction of light, called Fata Morgana effect, actually occurs by reflection. It is a reflective process.
Reflection. Uh-oh.
Angle tending to zero. With the observations we make, we have been able to promote a new physical theory that explains the Fata Morgana effect from a new optic, a new point of view. We call it the theory of optics applied to visual phenomena.
This conclusion helped us explain three phenomena that we know are illusions. Why the boat seems to disappear going down the horizon line, why first fades the hull and then the boat, and why when an observer is taller can see farther.
We conclude that boats don't descend at the horizon, and that we lose the ability to observe them, to see them in function of an optical phenomenon.
With this experiment, one of the main arguments of the spherical Earth theory, that boats disappear on the horizon due to the curvature, is totally refuted. This is the first
such a demolishment.
flatness of the waters.
Sounds brilliant.
Among the long-distance viewing experiments.
Anyway, if you want to keep on, I can keep playing it. It's got another minute. 45.
Yeah, we can do another one. We can do it, but I mean, if you look at what it just showed already.
Greatest.
Yeah, we just wanted to show about the ships, right? Or about the building.
Yeah, no, the buildings. I mean, Luca, can you try and explain 3,050 kilometers apart why there's no tilting buildings?
Oh yeah, that.
Oh.
To me, that graphic is the image or whatever the illustration is incredibly misleading. That is so misleading.
How much tilt? How much tilt should you have at 3,050 kilometers, Luca?
Because on a globe, vertical lines. Or the vertical lines.
Luca, wait, you're not answering me. You're not answering me. How much tilt should we observe for something that is 3,050 kilometers apart?
Is it going to be more than zero?
I was like, let's say, 0 equals what? What's that? S plus S over the radius of Earth. So about maybe the plumb lines are rotated about 27 degrees.
Wow.
to each other.
And they got 0.
27 degrees.
But there's no more in a sphere, so.
To get 0 on a sphere is normal.
And also, vertical lines aren't parallel, so. That's
Yeah, flat Earth. Welcome to flat Earth.
Exactly.
Now, perpendicular to local level meaning it points along the local gravity direction.
No, it
Yeah,
doesn't. So it points to nowhere? Hold on, wait. It points to nowhere?
Huh?
You just said it pointed to gravity.
the
We've already
local
told you that gravity
direction.
doesn't
It's
exist,
towards
Luca.
the
We
center
already
of the
know that. You've had that explained to you
It's towards
for
Earth's
over
center.
2 years. For over 2 years. So you already know that gravity doesn't exist. So when you say that it points toward gravity, you're saying it points towards nothing.
It points towards Earth's center.
No, it doesn't. The center's in the North Pole. So it would be laying over on its side if it was pointing toward the center.
The center's in the middle.
No, the middle is the North Pole.
No.
Yes.
No, not
Yes.
not the middle of Earth.
Absolutely. And the building test that we just showed you proved that. Because guess how much curvature there was in that distance?
And
None.
so it's not to scale.
0. Goose eggs.
Perfect. The illustration obviously was not to scale as well.
Well, of course it wasn't. That was
Not
just
at
to
all.
show you what they were doing. But the
That's right.
actual test showed nothing, didn't it? I don't care about the drawing. The drawing was there to illustrate what they were doing. Okay? The actual test that they did you see those men out there with the theodolites and the lasers, all that shit, that the footage of them actually doing it, that wasn't the drawing that you're finding in contention? Okay.
Yeah, but their plumb lines are rotated 27 degrees relative
No, they
to
weren't
each other.
27 degrees. They were 90 degrees perpendicular to level.
Luca, you said 27 degrees difference between zeniths, correct?
The plumb lines.
Yes, so the horizontals, both of them would be 27 degrees into the sky compared to the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Yet they looked lens to lens. They even used lasers. It was literally pinged 0 degrees.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sorry, look at 2 seconds. Look at 2 seconds. I'm sorry, Viking Lloyd. Jesus is not the son of King Bloody Herod.
No ways.
Yeah,
Herod wanted Jesus dead. Herod wanted Jesus dead.
That's not even. You're never viewing both buildings in one giant side-on diagram like the.
It was just an illustration. It was an illustration to show you they should.
But you're never going to view the two buildings like that.
I know. It was an illustration to show you they should be curved. Obviously, it's very exaggerated to show you this. Okay, it's to make it visually possible to understand that buildings would tilt. But they measured with actual surveying equipment, no tilt.
Wow.
You understand, Louis?
He understands nothing.
Well, Pickle Minds, they did use lasers as well. On the part that he didn't show now, they actually pinged 2 separate receivers and stuff over an ocean with lasers.
Well, if the buildings are, we didn't see X amount of meters or whatever metric you use, tall, then obviously you'd go 3,050 and then
kilometers away. That's part away.
350 and then 100 divided by the radius of Earth, and then you get.
How'd you get that too? Where'd you get the radius at?
You get either if they're 100 meters or 100 kilometers, then it'll be 48 meters.
So that's your calculation, but you know what reality showed? 0.
So the top
reality showed 0. So your calculations mean shit. You understand that, right? Where did you even get your radius value from?
But the top farther apart from the bottom.
No, they were not further apart. They were not. The test indicated that there was no deviation.
It's like tens of meters, not some
no
huge thing like the diagram
showed. Luca, it was zero. It was zero. Reality showed zero. It doesn't make a shit's difference what your calculations come up to. Reality showed zero.
The illustration's just useless.
Forget the illustration. Forget the illustration, okay? Don't just pretend you never showed you the illustration, okay? You're obviously too dumb to understand the difference between illustrations and reality. Okay, we don't care about the illustration. That was there for stupid asses like you so they could show you what was supposed to be happening. Okay, yes, it was probably exaggerated because it's just to show you. That's all. The actual test, however, okay, so just pretend you never saw a diagram. Okay. All right. So the test, the results were what?
Well, that's
zero. That's right. Zero.
No
zero. There was zero deviation due to Earth curvature or anything else. So that says what? That says that your calculations versus actual measurements
are off.
Are way off.
Yeah, like zero.
That's because you're trying to make a flat plane into a ball when it's not.
I threw a picture on the side of the hill tilt in San Francisco on that famous hill. What's that big giant hill in San Francisco? So you know what I'm talking about.
It's Lombard
Street. I threw a picture, Flats, of she had a JPEG. It says hill tilt.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to be able to show it, unfortunately. Maybe someone in the chat.
Oh, okay. Here,
because I'm on my phone, so I can't share. Yeah, you can screen share.
Adam was an alien. Of course he was. Of course he was. Yeah. Fantastic.
All right, hold on. Hold on a second.
Yeah, and Derek Elsis is in the back, but unfortunately he can't join. There's only 6 people max in, so sorry. Let's go to having man.
Okay, here, I'm gonna share screen.
Alien.
Yeah, alien but if you were to so if you take 2 toothpicks or something, and you stick 2 toothpicks straight into a round object, at far apart points like the buildings on Earth, each toothpick is perfectly vertical, quote unquote, perfectly vertical. Locally, they are perfectly vertical.
Vertical to what?
Perpendicular to the peel of the.
Perpendicular to what?
Kidding.
What?
There's no perpendicular on a ball.
I don't know how you guys don't understand this. Perpendicular is 90-degree angles, all parallel to one another. All the parallels of the verticals are all parallel to all the horizontals. Guess how much horizontals there are? 1.
Yeah.
This is. Can you guys see the screen?
Yeah, it shows on. It's on.
This is a great example, Luca. All of those houses are all of those houses straight up and down, meaning plumb and level.
Well, down a hill, but yeah.
Yes. All right. Now, how would the curve work if you were to build every one of those houses plumb and level on a curve where to the space to the next house would be at a different angle?
Or that most likely not do that, because that would leave a curve in the house if they.
There you go.
So
and if you notice the building
as flat as possible.
Well, look at this. Look at why aren't the buildings follow the same zeniths as the cars?
What do you mean? The cars are.
Would the house at the end of the hill be angled further away than the house at the top of the hill? If it was following a curve, say this street had a curve, a permanent curve. Every house is built plumb and level to the position of the foundation itself. Would all the houses be at different angles as they followed the shape?
Well, I suppose so.
All right. All those houses are all built plumb and level on a hill.
The slope.
A slope, yes. It's a big, giant slope. But I mean, when you think about it, every house would individually be tilted away from each other if they were following a curve. They all have to be built plumb and level to the space that they're in. Otherwise, you have to do what they did on this giant slope, is that they had to take the foundation and get the foundation level and then build the house on top of it. Yeah. How would you build houses at the equator?
How would you build houses on the equator?
Yeah.
What?
Relative to the top of the globe or the bottom of the globe, how would houses be built at the equator?
Just build them, I guess.
They would have to be horizontal. They have to be built sideways. How would you get plumb and level sideways? How would you get plumb and level while it's going angled straight out? Nobody at the horizon lives sideways.
What side? Are you talking about like 90 degrees sideways? Or
yeah. Yeah. Well, if you were at the top of the globe, if you were at the top of the globe, the further away from the center of it you would go, the tilt of the house, the foundation would have to be tilted up more and more and more and more to get it plumb and level. Otherwise, how would you build a house? The house would have to be built horizontal. And then as you went past the equator, the houses would have to start going upside down. They'd have to be tilted, so the roof would start to be tilted downwards.
What are you talking about, Pickle Minds? He's just done nothing but he's a flat earther, but he's done nothing but poo the argument.
The problem with Pickle Mind is he told me I'm wrong and then literally contradicted himself by saying I was correct. He said they never used lasers, and I think I did. Then he said, but in the documentary they used lasers. So I was correct. So thank you, Pickled Minds. You're obviously contradicting yourself constantly. Instead of just moaning, why don't you just accept that on the documentary they claim to have used lasers? And you really, Anyway, but at the end of the day, nothing we just saw shows a globe. Luca, correct?
You can have a local perpendicular as well, not just a...
No.
So people are upside down living in the south relative to people who live in the north. Their feet are pointed at my feet.
There's no upside down on the earth.
I mean, look at the picture of the ball. If I'm on top of it and my feet are pointed south, my feet are on the ground are facing south, okay? Would people at the bottoms, would their feet face north? They are on the bottom, and so they would be pointed at me, meaning they would be upside down. So if I was in the north, the sun would actually rise above my head. But if people
point to each other.
Okay, so if people in the south, if there's people in the south saw the sun come up, would the sun go over their head still? When the sun was coming up, the sun was going up, you would see it rise above your head, right? So would people in the south see the sun would be going down, would actually be rising below them?
The sun always rises in the east and sets in the west. No matter where you are, that's through the stars.
Welcome to Flat Earth.
Congratulations. Welcome to Flat Earth.
Yeah.
All I did was say that the sun. All I did was say that the sun always rises in the east and sets in the west.
Yeah, so it's not the Earth.
Direction though when you're in the south. Is it going the opposite direction when you're in the south?
Well, it would be counterclockwise, probably in the south, but
which way are you facing?
Well, or if you're close enough to the crater and you're...
Which way are you facing, north or south?
Well, if you're in the south, or...
Which way are you facing? Is the front of your body toward the north or the front of your body toward the south?
I guess
it's that way when you look at the moon too. If you're in the southern hemisphere, it's flipped from when you're in the northern hemisphere looking at the moon.
Talking about the counterclockwise, clockwise argument that they're always trying to get. They always go, well, they go the opposite way down in the south, and I'm like, turn around.
Mm-hmm. They're always they only move in one direction.
They're always going east to west, always, no exceptions. If I face one way, if I face south, they're going to be coming from my left. If I face north, it's going to be coming from my right. Still going east to west.
Yeah, that moon thing too, it also proves how it's a local moon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you only get that if it's like close in your bedroom on your ceiling, looking from two different sides of the room, versus something that's whatever 239,000 miles away. But even the hot spot, the moon hot spots in a cloudy night is unique. If I'm in the East Coast US and the same night, same time, somebody in California can see their own hot spot.
Oh, there's something I just learned. The sun is still teetering on a black hole. Teetering.
I know. I'm replying back to that now. Prove a black hole can exist in a place that's impossible.
I saw an interesting video recently. Actually, went to a video where a guy, I think it was in California, he told one of his friends to go skydiving in front of the sun, so he could get a nice telescopic photo of him skydiving to get a silhouette. But it's interesting, if you look at the angular size of the skydiver in relation to how the sun was, it shows the sun not to be 93 million miles away.
Yeah.
Really odd.
Yeah, it's well, they have to keep making up all this crap to make their little planets and outer space shit real, but it can't be real, and that's why I tell people, it's like, look, I don't care if you think you see curvature. I really don't. You've not obviously studied or noticed the physics of water. Okay. So you think you're seeing curvature, but common sense would say that can't be curvature because water won't do that.
It doesn't convex.
That's simple. When I first came on, somebody was talking about how come you don't see any curvature right to left. You only see it directly in front of you. And that's why I say, what do you think? You live on a cylinder?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
You would see it in every direction around you.
Well, just even the thing of being in the water, you're at the highest point. You'd have to look down to see the horizon. It'd be going away from you in every direction.
Yeah. Everything would be tilted away from you in every direction.
Go down. Yep.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you, Iwan, for your €2 super chat. Really appreciate it, man. Appreciate all the support. He says, hit the likes for CJ, people. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You rock. Appreciate it. And again, I want to say thank you to everybody that has supported on the GoFundMe. You guys have actually helped us get to father-in-laws of the past, so that's great. Now it's to try to get the car fixed. So appreciate everybody who's still supporting. You guys rock.
I can present that video if you want of the 700 mile away.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay. Yeah.
Across Wales, across England, across the sea, across France. Yep. Brilliant observation.
All right, here we go.
Hello, Figuri. Thank you for your $2 Australian dollars. Says, how's the car? Sitting, waiting for a mechanic. But at least we are here, so thank you very much. Appreciate the support. The man at the stage. There we go.
Oh, sorry, ad. Hold on. Okay.
That's quite a distance.
Well, I know it was.
Thank you again, Lo-Fi. Appreciate the super chat.
Yeah, I was trying hard. He's trying hard. I know. Is that the GoFundMe link?
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
the
the GoFundMe link?
yeah.
Oh, cool. I'm just saying that the GoFundMe link.
Is there any sound, D-Man? Don't think so.
No,
Yeah,
it's
can
not
you guys hear
playing,
anything?
Oh, it's playing.
Yeah,
the sound's
no
not
sound.
man.
Don't have the sound
Okay.
on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know. It's not coming through.
Can you hear that?
Nope.
Oh, okay. That's all right. Here, I'm going to have to stop that.
Because is it important what they say there?
Just
No, not really.
when you say you
Here, I'll
just
put the link
turn
in for
around and
everybody.
change, that's only true because you change your viewpoint. No.
What on that video though? What was the guy's elevation?
He was 3,000 feet up. He was 3,000 feet up. I took the curve calculator and figured it out to from 3,000 feet up as the observation point to the distance 700 miles away. There would have been a 48.9 mile hump obscured in between 2 points. Been 50 mile. So you never would have saw it from that distance, being 3,000 feet up ever. It would have been obscured by huge
and being
amount.
3,000 miles up, they can't claim their terrestrial refraction either, because the terrestrial refraction only counts at ground level.
And I mean the other thing is even if you raised yourself up even higher to look over the curve itself, the thing that you would be looking at would look different. It wouldn't be standing straight up. It'd be tilted away because of the topography. You would see it differently completely. And from them just showing what they're actually seeing, it's just standing straight up like it's nothing.
Wait a minute.
It would be an insane distance. You would have to raise yourself up 50 miles to see over that, to even see the very tip top of it. You wouldn't see it at all.
Did you say refraction only happens at ground level?
That's the claim for your globe. Terrestrial refraction is at ground level because that's where the dense air is.
Well, but just refraction can happen anywhere.
Show me refraction at 3,000 miles. Go ahead.
Would you agree that density changes with altitude?
How much air is at 3,000?
Well, not much, but there'd still be some.
How much air is at 3,000 feet up?
Oh, you mean like in space or something?
What's the air pressure at 3,000 feet up, Rico?
Well, I don't know the answer to that one, but probably close to 0.
3,000 feet? No. You can stand on
I thought you said miles.
3,000 feet and still breathe perfectly.
Okay, so there is air at 3,000 feet.
That is at 14.7 psi.
But since there's air at 3,000 feet, that means there's a refraction at 3,000 feet.
Okay, let me make this clear. The globe's claimed, ever since I've been debating them, have always been, we go higher so we can't see the effect of refraction. You even spoke about this trying to debunk Samuel Rowbotham, remember? The guy came later and raised his flags up higher to show curve, so it's over the refraction band. That was the claim, correct?
Well, as long as there's air, there's going to be refraction.
You just literally ignored every word I just said.
I think the atmospheric boundary layers at 1.2 miles. That's where the clouds start, the cloud bottoms, and that's where all the pressure is. The millibar is 1,000 and Earth's surface, And then once you get to the 12-mile marker, you're at 51,000. And that's the stratosphere, which is where daylight starts. And that goes up to 32 miles. And then you're at 32 miles high, you're at 1/1000th of an atmosphere of a millibar. So it's like literally,
I mean,
most
yeah,
of it's
the strongest.
within, 1 mile.
Well, what we're saying is that the strongest reflection happens, at ground, at sea level, because that's where the most dense air is. But you can still get reflection higher up. It's just going to be less noticeable.
Well, would it be enough to be able to see 700 miles away?
Well, I don't think anyone can see 700 miles away.
We literally just saw a link where they saw 700 miles away, Luca.
Yeah, watch the video, Luca. I put it in the regular chat in the comments. That's from Wales to France.
Yeah.
So 50 mile, it would be obscured by 50 miles. So that would be obscured by 50 miles. You wouldn't see it at all. There's no refraction in the planet that's going to go 50 miles. That's like me driving from here to the next state. It's just not going to happen.
But I think what we can do this whole hour we've been streaming so far, accepting reality means that the globe is insane to believe in.
It is, babe.
Yeah, when it comes to the physicality of it, none of it works. None of it, not even close. It has to be kind of fantastical to make it work. Otherwise, once you start to put the physicality to it and say that's impossible, you wouldn't see that. That's impossible. You wouldn't feel that. That's impossible. Your body's position would change.
Well, you'd need like something 2. I think it's like D equals, and then you put the square root sign or something 2RH, where D equals the distance to the horizon, and 8R obviously the radius of Earth, and H would be your height above sea level. So you're solving for H, right? So
if somebody else could grab that video and present it, that'd be cool. I don't know why my audio doesn't work when I play it.
So using that, you'd have to be at least 100 kilometers high to see 700 miles away. So, were they at least 100 kilometers high? Because if they were, then they'd see 700 miles away.
How much is 3,000 feet, Luca? Planes fly 30,000 feet, Luca. He was only at 3,000 feet. Try to do the math.
So they were 3,000 feet high.
Yep.
And saw something 700 miles away. You can't. No, that's not possible.
Exactly. Not possible on what?
Not possible on a globe.
Ah, welcome. Accept reality, Luca.
Yeah, it's just reality. We see way too far, and it isn't. I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence or give anybody any crap about it. It's just fact. You just wouldn't see that because of the impossibilities of the physicality. Once you pull the physicality into it, you see too far. It just doesn't work.
Wait, where were they, and what were they looking at?
From Wales to France. Those mountains are in France. They're in the Alps.
How high is
French
France?
Alps.
What the heck?
Well, I mean, what's the elevation of France? Not the.
Well, the mountains are like 12,000 feet, but it doesn't matter. The obscured part would be 50 miles, which is way higher than the mountains. So you wouldn't see
Let's
the
take it
mountains
this way.
anyway.
Yeah, even Mount Everest, you'd have to stack like 10, 20 times. You still won't see it.
One of the other ones I saw,
Yeah,
they said that you would have to.
16 is high,
They said
and
that, I hear an echo real bad.
that's still in the tropical other cloud zone. The clouds can rip up to 60,000 feet. It can go up to 12 miles, and they'll hit a wall up there, like those cumulonimbus clouds or whatever the hell, those huge thunderstorm clouds. Because the stratosphere is a conductor, it hits that and it's like smashes out into a wall. Because water is a dielectric. But anyways, you get all them clouds and everything, all kinds of moisture in the air. Even on Mount Everest, you got all kinds of stuff to factor in looking at distance.
They said that the amount of obscurity would be if you stacked up the Burj Khalifa 86 times. That's literally
Wow.
yeah.
And look at the Burj Khalifa, it's the tallest building in the world, just in case you want to.
86 times. There isn't enough of refraction that you could ever imagine that would compensate for that.
Well, I guess the only possibility left is that, well, it wasn't from Wales to France.
So you're saying they're lying?
Pretty much.
I never saw somebody try to hang on to a physically and scientifically impossible idea so hard in my life. I've never seen it. So rather than the only possibility is that they lied, not that, well, maybe the earth is actually flat. No, you go right to, well, they lied. And the reason globetards always go to that, and they use that all the time, you're lying, because that's what they're doing all the time. It's called projection. And they figure that because they're doing it, that must mean that you are. You see?
Insanity. Well said, Solomon. No, it's so true. It's true. And this shows you the dishonesty of these people. You see, if you just don't accept the evidence presented, which you're asking for, instead you want to make out some kind of story why you shouldn't accept it. Sorry, Peter.
Sorry, I was just trying to say, D-Man, I've been trying to open that link for ages, signing into BitChute and everything, but we don't get it in the UK anymore for some reason due to harassment stuff and all that. it says keep in touch. So I signed in, and then it's still not it's just taking me to my homepage where there's no videos, no lives or anything on it, but it won't give me a homepage. So I'll go back to the link that you gave me. Then I looked at the bottom. We don't get it in the UK now.
Wow.
So I can't get it. I can't show it.
I'll try to find it from somewhere else.
What's going on? I've got a BitChute account. I just haven't used it for ages. Yeah. But
yeah. But yeah, if that's the only rebuttal is they're lying, then that's when you should be questioning yourself on, is your belief system really holding ground?
Not a bit.
Insane.
The globe belief won't hold water.
Literally.
Like it.
Oh, man.
Yep. Well, that must mean the only explanation could be that you're lying. Yeah, because the earth has to be an impossible freaking ball of water. Why would they lie? Oh, my God.
I don't know. Why did your parents lie about Santa Claus as a child?
Right.
PJ, I found one that has a player. It's in Reddit though.
Let's have a look.
I put it in the private chat.
You guys can't get BitChute over there no more?
No, not since the 25th of May, apparently.
Oh my word.
And it's based in the country that he's literally part of. Which is just nuts.
Well, it said something about the comments have been, but it didn't give me anything at all. I could show you the screen it gave me. Is this showing? This is a Reddit one at the bottom flat.
Let me put it up here. Let's see.
There we go. Okay.
Hello, everyone. I have another great video to share with you today, and it comes from the channel.
Say again. Sorry.
It's working with sound.
Did you say? Can you not hear it? No.
No, I think it's working with sound.
Say, yeah, it's working. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's working.
Géographie Planetaire. I'll have a link in the description. Nouvelle Géographie Planetaire has had some fantastic long-distance videos in the past. I shared one of his videos a couple of years ago, and I do highly recommend that you subscribe to his channel. After I shared last week's video on the potential record long-distance video from Israel to Crete, filmed by Shimshon, I received some messages letting me know that I forgot about Nouvelle's video. Okay, I admit it. I sometimes make mistakes and miss things. But I'm very glad I re-examined Nouvelle's video, because I do love this flat earth proof. The video segment I'm going to discuss is centered on this photograph taken by Andrew Bailey, and I'll call it the Bailey photo. And I don't know anything about Andrew other than he can take some awesome photos, and in this case, a world record photo. I will include a link to the Bailey photo so that you can download it yourself. The Bailey photo was taken from the highest mountain in Wales called Yrwythfa. It has an awesome little train that takes you to the top. I just love the views there. I don't know about you, but this definitely is my kind of thing. This is now officially on my bucket list. Yrwythfa has an elevation of 3,560 feet. Now, what makes the Bailey photo so amazing is that you can see the Alps that are over 700 miles away. Here is Yrwythfa, and here are the peaks. There are 8 peaks we're going to look at, starting from right to left, and please excuse my pronunciation. Jungfrau, at a distance of 701 miles. Grand Comba, 709 miles. Dent du Midi, 686 miles. Mont Blanc, 701 miles. Point Percy, 685 miles. La Tournette, 683 miles. Meige, 729 miles. And Bar des Secrets, 735 miles. Looking at the Bailey photo zoomed in, of course, the naysayers are going to claim that those are clouds in the distance. And admittedly, it can be difficult to differentiate between white clouds and snow-capped mountains.
Sorry, go on.
No, you can clearly see the difference between snow-capped mountains and clouds, guys. I've looked at how many mountains and stuff in the past. You can see the difference. And
no, not really.
yes, you can.
See, you would have really. You're just so bitter, aren't you, that we can see 700 miles.
Yeah, that's impossible.
Have you ever seen snow-capped mountains from a mountain before, Luca?
Well, I've seen snow.
Have you seen snow-capped mountains from another mountain at long distance before, Luca?
Isn't it mad that you'll deny something like this? Hold on, Luca. Isn't it mad that you'll deny something like this, but yet say the space CGI is all real? You know.
I've been to Switzerland, and that they have snow mountains, which I have seen from the ground, and
right. And can you see clear difference? And can you see clear difference between the mountains and clouds?
Well, I can see the possibility of confusing the two.
Well,
since they're both white.
You can clearly see differences. That's my point.
Well, I can see how the mix-up arises between clouds and snow mountain, because they're both white.
Can you see the clouds? Can you see those clouds? No. Can you see those clouds in the background there?
I can.
The grayish kind of clouds.
Yes, I can.
Are they the same hue as those white-topped mountains in the distance?
Well, no, but you can have different colored
And
clouds.
speaking of clouds,
They're not
speaking of
moving.
clouds,
They're not moving.
yeah. And also
Exactly.
speaking of clouds, okay, which clouds are predominantly at the bottom of you?
Like the lower clouds?
Darker clouds.
Like a rain clouds.
Right now,
You haven't watched the rest. You haven't watched the rest of it yet, Luca. There's more to it, obviously.
Yeah, God.
But those are not clouds.
I mean, he identifies every single peak.
And that's what I'm going to prove. On the Bailey photo, here is where you can find the 8 peaks. The Bar de Secret there on the right is 735 miles away. Absolutely amazing. It would simply take too much time to look at all 8 peaks, and so I encourage you to watch the whole video by Nouvelle. He did a great job at lining those peaks up with the Bailey photo. For us, we're going to concentrate on only one path here. Urwitva to Mont Blanc. Mont Blanc, which means the White Mountain, is the highest mountain in the Alps. Here is Google Earth's elevation profile from Urwitva to Mont Blanc. Maybe you noticed that Google Earth got it right.
It's flat.
And that there is no curvature for the elevation profile. But notice how there is little elevation in between our 2 points, which gives Urwitva at 3,560 feet a great vantage to see Mont Blanc at 15,774 feet. Here is where Mont Blanc is located in the Bailey photo. This is the same photo cropped. Compare this cropped photo of Mont Blanc with another picture of the same mountain from a distance. I don't think anyone can reasonably disagree. The Bailey photo certainly looks very close to the other actual pictures of Mont Blanc.
Even the shadows of where the rock is protruding through the snow is exactly the same.
Blanc. It's very close. But if that were the only evidence, I'd probably not share this video because it would be too debatable. For me, this is what ends the debate. It is the fact that all 8 of these peaks match up with the Bailey photo, and I encourage you to examine it yourself. But let's look at Mont Blanc more closely. This is the Google pathway to Mont Blanc from Urwitva. I think you can see it much better from this angle, and it absolutely matches the Bailey photo angle. It's a definite match. But all 8 of the peaks line up. Add on the fact that the mountain, it looks just like Mont Blanc. And so it's dispositive. Yeah, I think this ends the globe. According to the globe model, with an observation height of 3,565 feet, that's with an added 5 feet for the observer, and a distance of 701 miles from the vantage point of Urwitva, a huge 49.5 miles should be hidden in the shadow of the Earth's bulge.
It's a lot.
Here are the calculations in metric. That's enough. Earth curvature.
Big ouch. Big ouch. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it, isn't it? Big ouch. Big ouch.
That was the one where the guy shows the picture of the Burj Khalifa and says you'd have to stack it up 86 times. That's how much you'd be obscured
6
by
times,
it.
That's right,
So we just see way too far. We see too far. It's that simple. You wouldn't have that. That wouldn't even be a thing. It would be completely obscured, and there would be no way you'd be able to see that. You would lose vision of that fairly quickly, and you'd be like, okay, there's no refraction on the planet that would be able to. And like I said, even if you raised yourself up continuously to look over the angle of the corner of the ball, what you would be seeing would be tilted away and weird from you. It wouldn't just be coming straight up out of it. The angle of it would be tilted back away from you. So it would completely change how you would see it. That simple.
Regardless of what you think you might see, water doesn't lie. And the physics of water will not allow it. So you can think you might see curvature. You could think, oh, the bottom of the boat's disappearing first and all that other nonsense. But common sense should kick in real quick and say, water doesn't do that.
So they were viewing from Snowdon, the mountain on Wales, or
yeah, they were seeing the mountain. They saw the mountain past where they should be able to see if the Earth was a scientifically, physically impossible globe.
No, I mean, where were they viewing from? What mountain? Snowdon, right?
I guess, yeah. But did anything I just said about that even resonate with you at all?
No.
So regardless of what you think you are seeing, the physics of water won't allow a curved Earth.
I'd say geometric. The geometric's impossible. It's geometrically impossible.
Yes, absolutely. Geometrically impossible, physically impossible.
And that's why I called it a lie, because it's impossible.
No. The globe is physically impossible. See, that's what you're not understanding. See, you've never had a firsthand observation of a globe, ever. Never once. Everything you believe is secondhand hearsay information as far as Earth being a globe. Every little bit of it is hearsay, secondhand information given to you by a less than reputable source.
People who obviously
belong. Yeah, I don't know about that.
So say Simon Dan FTF is not a source. Just to let you know.
Simon Dan is a wank.
They are a source.
Okay, Simon Dan.
Anything can be a source of information.
We're talking about reputable sources.
Yes.
Didn't you hear what he said?
They are reputable sources.
Who is?
Simon Dan and FTF, saying how FTF was a submariner, and you know.
So he said. We haven't seen actual evidence for that, by the way.
Yeah. Aren't you just calling him a lie? Isn't that what you accused me of doing when I said that photo is lying?
Has he showed us? It's hearsay, Luca.
Yeah, you're calling FTF a liar.
Never said that.
Yes, I will call FTFE a liar. I will call him a piece of scum. I will call him a fat, pasty piece of crap. What about it?
Well, that's the same thing that you got angry at me for doing.
No, Luca, because we've gone over the math with you. We've gone over everything with you, and you still go, no, it's globe. Earth globe, duh.
You just saw it with your own eyes, Luca.
You just fucking saw the damn thing, man, and you said, oh, that's a lie. Oh, really?
They just claimed it
all the trouble to do all that, just what? If the Earth was so obviously a globe, it wouldn't have had to been taught to you.
What?
It wasn't your idea. It wasn't your idea. You didn't discover the Earth to be a globe and then go to school and go, oh, yeah, okay, that's why the Earth looks like a globe.
Well,
right?
They taught us where we live.
Did you discover that the Earth was a globe? Hold on. Did you discover that the Earth was a globe, or were you taught that it was a globe?
I was taught that it was
a
globe.
There you go. And why did they have to teach it? Why did they have to teach it to you?
Well, they taught us where we live. That's something.
Why would they have to teach you where you live? Don't you know where you live?
Well, if it wasn't taught to me, then I wouldn't really know.
You really wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. Unless you went to a government building where some woman stood up at the front of the group of people and told you some shit, you wouldn't know anything. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Well, technically, yeah.
Did you know where your house was before you went to school?
Well,
were you able to recognize your house? How about your own bedroom? Or did you have to have?
I wouldn't know the exact location on geometry-based location. I wouldn't know.
They didn't give you that anyway, did they? And how would you? How did you verify? How did you verify that what you were being taught was Like
I wouldn't know that I was in Australia or where other countries were if I wasn't taught that.
Okay, so you had to go to school to learn that?
Well, well, I suppose so. Yeah.
You really? Do you
I
think
guess you
it's in
could
the, do
look it
you
up
think it's in
online,
government's
but
best interest for its populace to be smart?
I mean, I guess you could look up stuff online
Do you
nowadays.
think that it is in the best interest of a government for its citizens to be smart?
Well, yeah, I
You
suppose
do?
so.
You do? Who's
Well,
easier
why?
to who's easier to rule? Stupid people or smart people?
Oh, stupid people
There you
would
go. So
be
why would it be to their advantage to make you smart?
because they're not trying to do anything nefarious.
They're not. They're not. Did you miss the last 5 years?
5 years.
Did you miss the last
What
5 years?
happened? What happened in the
Oh,
last 5
Operation
years?
Warp Speed and the COVID and all that shit and trust the science.
Oh
Remember, trust
God,
the
not
science?
COVID.
Those are the same scientists that told you that you live on a globe.
Just to get this straight, you don't tell me you don't tell me you think that COVID was like not real or anything, right? You don't think that?
Of course not.
Okay.
Of course not. You know what they told me? That if I didn't go get their experimental jab, that I would be dead right now. And probably responsible for a bunch of other deaths as
Well,
well.
I do
didn't you know?
agree that the COVID-19
Didn't you know?
vaccine
So
wasn't.
what happened, Luca? What happened? Why did the scientists had predictions, correct? And those predictions didn't work out, did they?
I do
Well,
agree
didn't you know?
with what
Didn't
I
you
do
know?
agree with, like
Luca,
I out of everything you've said, I do agree with this particular part where the COVID-19 vaccination
Okay.
wasn't as
Okay.
good as they said.
Okay. Thank you, Luca. Okay. Anyway, so didn't you know that you're just AI? You're not actually here.
Oh, I'm
You
AI.
died. But yeah, I think we should change the subject. Unfortunately, YouTube don't like us talking
Okay.
about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, you gotta be careful.
Nothing about that anymore. Mainstream's coming out and talking about it now. Oh
I'm
man,
happy about that.
sorry we lied to you.
Yeah, just don't feel bad that all the people die taking it. You know.
The bottom line is this: is that it is not in government's best interest to make you smart at all. In fact, our education system here in the United States was run by John D. Rockefeller, who was quoted as saying, "I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers." Yeah.
Revenue.
Robots.
That's not in their best interest for you to be smart. It's easier for them to run things on you if you're a non-thinking individual. And if you believe all the crap that they tell you, that's even better. If you don't even question any of the crap that they tell you, that's even better. And you're one of those people, Luca. You're one of those people. You are an NPC. Do you realize
even a few years ago, even a few years ago, I have said that I have made the remark that America is probably one of the dumbest countries.
Oh, listen,
As
England's
of-
right there with us. England's right there with us. I hear some shit coming out of the UK that just would floor you that people actually believe. They've done it to everyone.
I mostly make
They've
that
done it to everyone. They've really done a number on you, Luca. You are a model. You are a model non-player character. You really are.
Of people rejecting the a third pounder because I thought it was smaller than a quarter pounder. But that's something dumb that America once did, and America once almost a petition went up to ban hydro something, but it was just water. So people made a joke about this thing, and then it actually got a lot of votes because people thought it was bad. There was actually water that they were banning. So that's another thing. Yeah, America's educational system's not the best. You could
It's
say.
not. It's worthless. As teats on a boar hog. Okay, that's how it is. I realized a long time ago that school was a joke, a complete and utter joke. Okay, my gym teacher was fat. Okay, my my business teacher didn't have a business. My shop teacher was missing fingers. Okay, it's not smart people at all. I saw adults making some of the dumbest decisions ever in my life. When I was a kid in school, I was like, this is a freaking joke. I'm not learning anything. I'm being trained to be obedient.
I figured it out real early.
Yeah.
The minute I was able to get out, I was out.
Well, I remember it came down to my 5th grade class. Now, my brother, he was just in 1st grade, right? And they came down to my classroom and they said, David, you got to come down to the music room. It's an emergency with your brother. And I was like, okay. So I go down there. And what had happened in one of them upright pianos, they have those big dowels in the back that go horizontal that hold the thing together. He had, like a dumbass, put his elbow between that and the piano and got it stuck down in there.
Ooh.
All these adults are standing around. Oh, what are we going to do? We can't get his arm out. It's stuck. We're going to have to call the fire department. And I'm watching all these fucking adults. And I piped up and I said, why don't you go get some of that soap out of the boys' room, that liquid soap, and put it all on his arm, and then it'll slip right out of there. Hey, wow, that's a great idea. I'm like, I'm in 5th grade. I had to come up with that. I'm in 5th grade. You guys are adults. This guy's got a PhD.
Yeah, it's right though. You're right about the teachers. Not me. My French teacher wasn't French.
Remind you of Peggy Hill.
But how many dumb people have you seen with PhDs? Quite a lot.
Oh, all of them. every one of them with a PhD I've found is dumb as shit. It's like this: the more degrees people get, the dumber they get.
I think that's what dumbs them down.
It is.
Yeah, but because they become
I
robots.
think that's what dumbs them down.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but you see, the problem with it is the problem with also the PhDs is they get such ego and pride that they can't accept that they're wrong because they were taught this and they got their qualifications for this. Doesn't make them right.
That's right.
It just means they're right in what they were trained in. That's all. What they're trained in doesn't mean it's actual reality.
I would agree that I've made like mistakes that were painfully obvious to not make. I've made stupid mistakes. I believe that everyone really has made a mistake sometime. Even it's not being an adult that you can't.
Do you have a PhD, Luca?
Well, no.
Then why are you talking about it? We're talking about PhDs, yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm saying that even PhD people can make a mistake. No one is exempt from making a mistake just because they have a PhD.
Being a retard is not a mistake, Luca. Okay, being retarded is not a mistake. Okay, especially if you go pay money to become more retarded.
Yeah.
Well, they pay money to get a piece of paper that says they're not retarded. That's all it is. I mean, I knew a lot of people that had PhDs and had no common sense whatsoever.
That gets you a PhD. It's actually doing the practical.
Luca, can you let Damon finish his sentence first?
Hold on. They don't just learn
from other
people. It's okay. It's okay. Let him go.
D-Man was talking.
Unbelievable.
Luca, wait. D-Man was talking, man. Just have to let him finish.
And you're telling me
I'm sorry, guys.
To let you talk when you wouldn't let D-Man talk.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say that I met a lot of people that had PhDs and this and that, and couldn't figure out basic problems.
No.
Or that they were insanely disconnected from other people. The way they kind of looked at other people was like lesser than them. Yeah. But yet when situations popped up, they were the people that had the least amount of common sense to solve a problem. And me, the person who barely got through 8th grade, just stepped right in and took care of the issue in a second and looked right at him like, okay, what's the problem? You know, like, this guy's got a PhD. My boss, it's funny because my boss started to give me more things to do because he realized that I could just figure things out and take care of stuff and do it with a quickness and simple instead of, you know, trying to, I'm the boss, everybody out of my way, I know what I'm doing. But yet when a problem would arise, no common sense. He had no common sense enough to look at something and figure out what to do. He would just go into this, you know, well, you take care of it. And that's, you know, it's like, wait a minute, hold on. I'm not getting paid to do your job too.
Right.
So I let him do it so that he could fail. And then the boss seen that and then said, hey, you know what? I could use you. Me. Mm-hmm. You know, like, you're not going to the guy with the PhD?
But you see, this is the thing. If you guys realize, and I mean, this is out of experience, especially in the line of work that I do, people usually want the people that have experience. Doesn't matter what the qualifications you got or whatever. They want someone who's got experience to do the job. Yeah. And I can show you so many people that don't have qualifications that do better than the people that do have the qualifications.
Yep.
Because they have a more better understanding based on personal experience.
Yeah, they can work it out in their mind and fix it, solve the problem. Look for the problems before they start. That's the type of people that you want in those positions. But they always are going to go to the one who has the piece of paper and that says here that he's qualified. But yet when you watch them work, you'll quickly find out that that piece of paper didn't mean squat. They're not problem solvers. They're not seeing the things happen before they happen. And once something does go wrong, like Luca was saying, once something does go wrong, you learn from where you failed. That's when you sit back and reflect on it and say, okay, where did I get it wrong? How did I do it wrong? Mm-hmm. What didn't I see? That's the type of mindset you need when something goes wrong, Luca. You need to then look back and say, okay, where did I get this wrong? How did I not see this? Where's my thinking causing a problem of how I didn't see this?
Okay. Yeah, okay, I agree.
Deductive reasoning. You know, critical thought and deductive reasoning are very important tools, and I think they really from you. And I was going to ask you.
You're doing it again, Luca. You're doing it again.
I was going to ask you, Luca, why do you have this? I don't know what I'd have to call an undeserved adoration for academia. I mean, you seem to think that school is just the shit, and that, you know, person in school, what they teach you in school is altogether correct and right. And, you know, where do you get that from?
I mean, most of the time it's correct what they teach you at
of
school.
Course, it's all crap.
Well, hopefully it is correct.
No, I mean, the whole thing is crap.
No, that's not really correct.
Sure it is.
Apart from maths and English, I mean, what good did you get out of that? You know,
I mean,
you don't need to go to a state-run institution to learn that.
I mean, you'd make
the amount of shit that they teach you that's actually useful, you could learn in about a month.
I mean, think about it. Out of all the years we've gone to school, what have we actually used in our everyday lives and what we've learned really at school?
I guess how to speak properly.
No, you can speak properly out of school. I can show you many people that never went to school. They speak perfectly. There's nothing to do with it.
I never went to school. I never learned to speak at school. I was already speaking. I was already talking.
How to make science experiments.
Well,
I've made a science experiment. That was fun.
That didn't work.
Luca, that didn't work. That didn't work. You think Aristophanes was an experiment.
I made
you think that Cavendish was an experiment. You think that things that are not experiments are experiments. So you apparently failed that.
I made elephant toothpaste. So
that's not science. That's chemical. Those are chemical reactions. It's not science.
What? Wait, what do you mean?
Chemical reaction.
That's science.
No, it's not. It's chemistry.
Okay.
Chemistry is
I learned-
part of science, but it isn't.
I learned reading, writing, and arithmetic. Anything past that was all me.
I agree.
All me, 100%. I learned everything hands-on, or I would go to the library and read books of general knowledge, and then I would do my own tests into things and build my own stuff and take things apart, and that's how I learned how they worked and how to put them back together.
But knowledge is just part of things.
This is
like,
why.
You gotta know as much knowledge. You also got wisdom. That, to me, those two things is what makes you smart.
This is
like,
part
it
of the
isn't just
problem.
knowing book smart. And if you do know the book smart part of it, why don't you expand your knowledge and on top of that?
Method that we seem to have forgotten about.
This attitude and this, why go to school stuff is part of the problem on why you're flat earthers in the first place.
No.
Yes.
Luca, I finished school with 3 distinctions, so you really don't know what you're talking about, man.
I mean, what were they?
English, Afrikaans, and graphics.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. They won't really help with.
And I had 98% for graphic design, if anyone was asking. So.
Yeah, the 3 distinctions you got don't really help with the shape of the earth stuff. So
what does any distinction? What does any subject got to do with the shape of the earth?
Well, physics.
Physics has nothing to do with the
help.
shape of the earth.
The point wasn't the shape of the earth. The point was about going to school. And you just proved his point by saying, "Oh, that won't do anything towards the shape of the earth." So you're saying he learned something that was useless.
Well done, Luca.
Well done.
I'll agree that it can feel useless at times.
Well, what time is it not
what am
useless?
I going to use this for in real life?
Yeah.
And then it turns out that it's actually, you do actually use it for stuff like
what?
Maths. Like if you don't learn maths, you can't really do good.
When last have you needed to do calculus? Luca, when last have you needed to do calculus?
Huh?
When last have you needed to do calculus in your everyday life?
Well, when I guess I was when I worked at cash register once, I needed to do math.
Once.
We got AI now. You can skip that part.
Yes, some places now have stuff that do the maths for you, but when I was
no. Show me in everyday life where you need to do calculus, Luca.
Well, I guess when you're measuring stuff.
I measure stuff all day long, and I never use calculus.
Like when you need to do like calculations, when you measure and add stuff together, and then do complicated maths.
Like what?
You tell me these are things that you need to be in school for to learn.
Like orbital mechanics and stuff,
So fantasy nonsense.
Well, what?
When was the last time you were charged with, having to figure out orbital mechanics?
Not me personally.
All right. Well, then you missed the point of the damn question, didn't you?
Well, if you ask like a person actually uses the stuff, that question, then they'd probably say, "Oh, I use it all the time in orbital mechanics and theodolites and surveying." They'd use that stuff all the time.
Doesn't do calculus. Surveys don't use calculus. Surveys don't use calculus, Luca.
So, surveying don't use What? No, surveyors do.
You even know what calculus is?
Well, calculus is like they use arithmetic, right? Just like
You could have just said, no, I don't know what calculus is. That would have been a lot easier.
Well, surveyors can absolutely use calculus, like
what is
curves and
calculus
alignments.
first of all? Look at it like that. What is calculus first of all? Then you try and explain to me how calculus is used in survey.
Well, calculus is like used for like curves and when you've got those like alignments, like basically what's that word? Derivative? Yeah, when you use like rate of change and integrals and numbers and how does surveying not use calculus? Because
how does it use it?
Well, they do alignments.
This is what you globetards do all the time. You're all the time about proving negatives.
No,
you
like
want somebody else to prove a negative.
Earth modeling, they like make
not Earth modeling. They're surveying land.
Yeah. Well, let me read out the definition for you. Right. Calculus uses convergence of infinite sequences and infinite series to well-defined mathematical limit. Calculus is the mathematical backbone for solving problems in which variable quantities change with time or another reference value. It has also been called the basic instrument of physical science. What has that got to do with anything you just said?
Well, yeah, most surveyors, everyday, quote-unquote, surveyors don't really use... Surveyors genuinely use, like, trigonometry, geometry, algebra, statistics, coordinates...
You're making my point through and through, man.
Calculus.
But calculus, the regular surveyors don't really use calculus, but...
You're the one who said they did.
No surveyors use calculus, Luca. Where?
I said,
how?
Well, like I said, geodetic surveying and...
Don't use calculus.
And the most complicated stuff, we're using computers. Like, we use computers to design computers. Like, we don't count out 1 billion transistors mentally going over in a processor. Like, we have a computer that'll design for us. I mean, can anybody hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, no. Oh, listen, good point. You understand what he was saying, Luca?
I couldn't really hear, but what did it say?
Have you ever heard of the saying, work smarter, not harder?
Yeah, I have.
That's practically his point. So,
well, I've seen videos on people working smarter and not harder. They're smart. they are smart for thinking of doing that. So
okay, let's put it into a way you might understand. Let's say you take a warehouse and you need to quickly get the floor cleaned.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to work harder, you're going to take a small little broom and try and sweep it away and then wash the floor with a hosepipe. To work smarter, you're just going to take a hosepipe with high pressure and just pressure wash it clean, full stop. It takes you half the time and less effort. Would you agree that's working smarter and not harder?
Well, you can't just wash something.
Is that? Would you agree it took half the time to get exactly the same effect, to work smarter and not harder?
You can't just take a power hose and just...
Again, I'm going to ask again. Get the same effect half the time. Would that mean you worked smarter or harder?
Smarter.
Well done. So that was Chris's point. When they make transistors, they don't have to do calculus to do this. They use computers to do it for them.
And they still had to have
quicker and easier. No, Sorry, Chris. When last did you have to use calculus to make a transistor?
What was that question? Did you ask me something?
Yeah. When last did you have to use calculus to make a transistor?
I don't know. Maybe when they had the green tubes or something. I don't know. I mean,
Wow. Yeah.
Luca, it's the same as saying, well, I have electricity, but let me rather use fire.
I mean, making a transistor does use calculus there.
Oh my word, he's still not getting the point, guys.
It's not the point.
I mean,
okay, let's take another one.
Do you have to use
Luca?
it, or does the computer?
Yeah. Let's do another way, Luca. You can count money, correct?
Well, I suppose so. Yeah.
Let's say someone gives you a whole bag of pennies. Now you can go and count it individually to find out how much pennies there are, or you can go to a counting machine and throw it in there and it counts it for you. Correct?
Yeah.
Which one is going to be more sustainable to do?
I mean, counting machine, probably.
Great. So why would you need to use calculus that you learned in school
but like
if you got the tools that do the calculus for you in a fraction of the time?
As I was going to say before, when with those transistor things, like you'd need people to actually make it in the first place, right? So how do you, like, someone had to make those counting machines in the first place, and that would use.
And did they use calculus to make that machine?
Yeah, that they would.
How? How?
You don't even know what calculus is. No.
Make a machine. Wow.
How do you know where and when they use calculus, Luca, if you don't even know what it is?
Well, I said what it is. It's like using. It's like derivative. It's you do it.
What's the derivative? What's the derivative, Luca?
Well, it's like how you can trace something back. It's like you can derive this from this if you go back in time and do the steps to make it. I suppose, like it's like Einstein and Newton, right? Newton's equations can be derived from Einstein. So if you can derive, you can take Einstein's equations and get Newton's. Basically, someone actually showed how you can go from Einstein to Newton's equations. You can drive that. So that's cool.
Great. So how are you using? Great. So how is derivatives used in calculus for surveying?
Well, like I said, it depends on what kind of surveying you do, because
no surveying uses calculus. Luca?
What about geodetic surveying? That definitely uses.
They don't use calculating. They don't use calculus. They use a belief system.
I can add something to this. I looked it up. It says calculus and surveying, especially differentiation and integration. It says helps calculate complex areas, volumes like excavation, curve properties.
I agree.
It says, but modern tech handles much of it. However, advanced concepts in error theory, map projections, and spatial adjustments. And it says
like
they rely heavily on calculus, linear algebra.
Luca,
Luca,
trying to
I agree. I agree with him.
It says, but modern tech handles most of it, so it's not.
So the point is, D-Man, do surveyors need to know calculus to do surveying?
No.
There we go.
No, it's absolutely. No, it's absolutely they would need to know calculus.
Okay. Okay, Luca, do you know what LiDAR is?
LiDAR?
LiDAR.
LiDAR? No.
It's just 3D spatial recognition, okay? It's based on laser interferometry, okay? So it's kind of making a 3D layout of everything around you. They use LiDAR. Now, do you need to know how to make that program to be able to use that system?
I mean, yeah.
No, I can go buy a LiDAR system now. I don't need to know how to make
it works.
I said you need to know how to build it, how to make the system, to use it, Luca.
You probably would need to know how to make it, or to know how to use it.
Okay, Luca. Let's make this even more simple, Luca. Do you need to know how to build a car if you are a salon worker? If you work in the salon?
No.
But you use a car to get to the salon?
Yeah. Oh,
so why do you expect me to have to know how to build a LiDAR station if I just use the LiDAR?
Well, like I was saying, you probably wouldn't need to know how to make one to use one.
That's our point, Luca. So when we say, okay, school has taught us things that we don't use in everyday life, it's a waste of time, a waste of effort. Get it? So people that have PhDs based on this stuff is literally just wasted time. They studied for 7 years to learn something that is anyway not worth it. They waste their money.
You don't know who's going to need to learn this stuff to actually make it. Some people do learn how to make it, and then they make it. So whether or not
if you love math and that's your passion, well, yeah, learn and study and do all that math.
So if you choose not to do something, that's your way. You can choose whatever you want to do. It's just some people wanted to learn how to make this or use it, so they're the ones that they made a car to the reason they made a car was so that they could travel faster, and planes to travel, and boats too.
Okay, the point we're trying to make, Luca, is what you taught in schools is not necessarily something you use in your everyday life.
Well,
I can guarantee you, 90% of what you taught in schools, you don't use in everyday life.
Well, I wouldn't say 90%.
I still raise my hand. I still raise my hand to go to the bathroom.
I mean, it was just polite to do, right? It was polite to raise your hand and not just shout.
Yeah, well, I'm not polite. I started just getting up and going. I didn't raise my hand.
That taught you not to interrupt people, right? Raising a hand to go to the bathroom or talk.
Coming from you, bro.
Raising a hand was just polite because it means that you didn't interrupt.
No, I'm not interrupting you if I get up to go take a shit, Luca. I'm not interrupting you if I get up to go.
You still need to tell the person where you're going.
No.
Why do I have
to just get up and go?
That teaches you the hierarchy of knowing your place. In other words, so it teaches authority of you. That's what that does. Well, you understand? Politeness. Wait. No. Politeness is separate from teaching hierarchy. Yeah. Okay? When I teach my children to respect me as the authority in the house, it's totally different than saying you're going to stick up your hand every time you want to do something. To be polite and to show authority is two different things. Okay? School teaches you in some respects to respect authority as governing over you. Why do you think? Conditioning. Why do you think? Wait, Luca, let me finish. Why do you think when a police officer comes to you and tries to intimidate you on something, you step back and accept it? Why do you think that, Luca? It's because you
It's
taught
under
that way.
threat.
There are
Yeah.
there are laws that you don't have
And how
to
many
do
people
as
actually?
the police officer says all the
And how
time.
many people? And how many people actually know the laws themselves?
Hmm.
I mean,
They didn't teach you that,
from
did
what
they?
I've seen, a lot.
No, hardly anyone knows the laws.
I mean, from what I've seen, a lot of people do know the laws and what rights they have.
I bet
Okay,
you don't.
There's a channel that's
what is
all
the
about.
what is the law of a traffic officer having a speed camera along the road and he stops you for speeding?
Well, that's just what they do, right? The police just
What's the law? No, what's the law behind there? How is he able to have that verified
well,
that you were going that speed?
with a speedometer or something like
The
one
law
of
says
those.
they have to have a calibration certificate, they have to have an officer of authority on duty, and they have to be able to warn beforehand that someone's standing there. Do you know this law, Luca?
What?
In other words, no, you don't. So, in other words, you just told bullshit. Thank you.
What? God, that's not even what I.
So, in other words, if they stop you, you have to ask for a certificate of calibration. If they can't present it to you, they can't prove you drove that fast.
Police officers can be wrong as well, so
My word.
you don't have to do as what
The
as the
laws.
police officers.
You just said
But
everybody knows the law, Luca, and you just proved my
of
point
course, you
you don't.
should normally do. Even if you know that the police officer is wrong, you should probably do what he says anyway. Just
Why?
fight
Wait a minute,
to
wait a
get
minute.
Wait.
things
Why?
later.
Why?
Well,
Why do you
because
have to do
you're gonna
everything that a
contend it
police?
later in
Luca,
court.
settle down. Why would you have to do everything that a cop tells you? How does a cop How does a cop just have authority over you?
To avoid escalation, to avoid doing
Well,
something.
wait. When does a cop even have authority over you?
Well, pretty much. Well, pretty much all the time.
No. See, you just made Flatzoid's point. You just made Keith's point 100%, that it taught you to respond to perceived authority. The only time a police officer has any authority over you is if you are breaking the law. Okay. Other than that, you don't even have to talk to them. You don't even have to talk to them. And they have to have reasonable, articulatable suspicion that you have committed, are about to commit, or are committing a crime. Outside of that, they come up, hey, you give me your ID, and piss off. Okay.
Hey, just a question. Are you a sovereign citizen?
There's no such thing as a sovereign citizen. That's an oxymoron. That's like dehydrated water. The only sovereign citizens we actually have wear badges. They're called cops.
They don't have to follow the same rules and laws that everybody else does. They're exempt. They could go on the highway and go 120 miles an hour with no lights on. And who's gonna go and tell them they can't do it?
That's like saying saying sovereign citizen is the same as saying free slave. You see the contradiction? If you're a citizen, you are a slave. That's it. If you are a citizen, you are a slave. That means you are an employee of your company or whatever your country is called in its corporate name. You are a fictional corporate entity.
Well,
if you're sovereign, that means you have authority over yourself, but none has authority over God. So you're missing everything that I'm trying to teach you by making.
I mean that's just what they call them.
I know. I don't care what they call them. It's incorrect, isn't it? So you're either sovereign or you're a citizen.
It's a contradiction in terms by definition.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be a dog and a cat at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I do agree that sovereign citizen is an oxymoron usually, but
it is not usually. Always, it's like dehydrated water. Okay, it's not possible to have both.
all I mean is that, like in democracy or something, like the people are the ultimate source of political authority in a democracy.
In any government.
That's
Any
not
government
small,
can only exist with the consent of the governed. That's the only way it can exist, is either by threat of violence or by consent of the people. That's the only way government can work. Government, by its very definition, is two Greek words. Governo and mentis. It's governo and mentis. Okay,
but yes,
Latin rather.
Using it as
it means
using
control
it as
of the mind. Where is government? Where is government? Who is government?
Like it's well, Australia doesn't really have a Australia.
Anyway, sorry guys. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to end you because my battery is about to die. I did go on as long as possible.
Good to see everybody. Thanks for having me on.
Well, good to see you guys. I will be live tomorrow night again. So it was great to have you guys on. Soph was good to see you, Luca.
PJ. I'll be on tonight.
Yeah, make sure to catch Soph live, and PJ, you live tomorrow as well.
Tomorrow afternoon, before you're live.
Yeah. Awesome.
Sop's going to be on Tinfoil Sombrero too on Sunday, Soph?
Sunday. Yeah, what time?
Yeah. Oh, shit. Oh,
I'll have to go look.
It's when Space Bends. Over in Space Bends, man.
Let me see if I can find it here.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Luca. Thanks for coming. Luca, remember, man, just know that you have to accept reality, because we've shown you tonight it's definitely impossible to be a globe, even by your own admission.
All I'm saying is that if from 3,000 miles up, you can't...
3,000
feet. 3,000 feet.
At 3,000 feet high, it's impossible to see 700 miles.
And yet they do. So, well done.
No, that's why I said that they're lying, because...
You saw it.
Because you saw the video.
No, it's geometry. It says it's impossible on the globe.
Right. So it's the globe geometry,
So it's a lie.
No, your globe is a lie.
Now, either if we take it in isolation, either the Earth is not a globe or it's a lie.
Not a globe.
So not a globe. Well done.
We've already discussed the physics of water. Story over.
Exactly. Well, thanks guys for coming. Appreciate it. Guys, go join Soph just now live, and then PJ tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow night or whatever. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Right. Appreciate you all. Appreciate again everybody that has supported the GoFundMe. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. You really supported to get the car. Yeah, now I just need to get it fixed. We'll see tomorrow. I'll keep you updated on what the mechanic says. But you guys rock. Till tomorrow. Cheers, guys. God bless you. Auf Wiedersehen.